So the name of a topic is linear programming. Already I told that the weightage is a 7 marks. Two articles are very important from this. One is a graphical method to solve linear programming problem and the simplex method to solve linear programming problem. In short, we say LPP. Okay. Now, why the name given as a linear programming problem? So obviously, throughout the topic, we are going to see only the linear problem. Linear problem means everywhere the degree of a variable is 1. And these are programming problem because there is some systematic method to solve this problem, and because of that we say it is a linear programming problem. So already all you are familiar with this topic because this topic is not new. Definitely you already learned that in your 11th or 12th standard there. So where you already started first how to solve the inequality. Yes, anyone? How you are solving the inequality first, or graphically what inequality represents? Suppose some inequality are given and
Like,
question is present it on the graph paper. Yeah.
so like it'll be like shaded towards the origin or away from the origin. Like,
Okay, so it is giving us a region, that's mainly. So it may be given us means the plane is divided in two parts because of that inequality, and then we can decide which one is the required region there. So yes, inequality when that converts equality, it just represents a straight line, but inequality represents the region. Okay, so these things you done that in 11th, and later on you started this LPP also. The first thing that you done is formulation of LPP. Okay, so before we start this, let I give you again a small introduction, even though you completed it. In day-to-day life, in many cases, we observe these problems actually. We have to either maximize the profit or minimize the loss. Okay, so these are the two things generally we are interested. Always we are interested to maximize the profit or minimize this cost. Okay, so that is the thing. So whenever we have to maximize the profit, that profit generally depends on some selling items, or okay, so that on some particular thing. That articles are considered as a decision variable because the selling of that articles mainly decides the profit. So we say that just I will say that say the first part that will come in LPP is this one, objective function. This is the objective function. So that is either we have to maximize or minimize. This objective function, suppose it is a maximize, it depends on these variable x1 and x2. So these variables are considered as a decision variable. So that is the first part of this LPP. Second part of LPP is a constraint. So we have always a constraints there. That constraint is generally of these three types: less than or equal to or greater than or equal to type. Now throughout whatever the numericals we have, 99% of the examples, near about in every example, the constraints are only of less than or equal to or greater than or equal to type. So equal to type constraints are not there. Nowhere you will find any example of this type constraint. Okay, so mainly we are focusing that constraint, that is condition. We say maximize z, which is a c1x1 plus c2x2, subject to the condition. The condition is a11x1 plus a12x2 less than or equal to b1. This is a21x1 plus a22x2 less than or equal to b2. Okay, so that is another thing you should know. So in standard form this problem is written as maximize z, which is a summation cj xj. Okay, why I'm writing this notation? Because these symbols we are going to use it later on in a simplex method. So because of that, this general notation is important. So you should know what is a CJ. Why CJ is used? It is a cost value of this decision variable. So decision variable have some cost, and that is a CJ there. subject to subject to the condition. Now condition is like I will say matrix Aij. So these are the coefficient A11, A12, A21, A22. That is a matrix. It is a 2 by 2 matrix right now. Then we have the matrix of that decision variable Xj less than or equal to Bj. Okay, so these are, and that Xj's are greater than or equal to 0. So this is a general notation. Okay, this general notation. This is in particular. So first is objective function, where Cj's are the cost values, Aij are the this is just like a matrix equation. You are going to learn matrices. Joshi ma'am will start it. That time you will come to know this is just like a system of equation. When we convert inequality to equality, and we get matrix equation Aij Xj is equal to Bj there. Okay, that way. And last thing, this x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0 or xj greater than or equal to 0 is known as non-negative restriction. This is a non-negative restriction. So this is about a standard form of LPP. Okay, so let me see how we formulate the LPP. So formulation question, last 4 years never asked in the exam. Okay, last 4 years not a single question came on the formulation of LPP. But yes, the first part of LPP is always a formulation, and once we formulate it, then only we solve it. Okay, so that way we are completing this topic. But remember, the formulation is not so important article as per the previous question papers. But by chance, if question comes on formulation, you should able to attempt it. So formulation mainly depends on the first thing. We should find out the decision variables. Then we have to find out constraint, and we can write the objective function. So these are the three things that we require one by one. Now go through this question. This is one of the simplest example that you have. You should tell me decides the objective function. First of all, objective function, whether it is of maximize or minimize. Yes, someone is there on chat. Okay, few of you are sitting together. That's not a problem. Yes, I'm asking. Tell me, objective function, whether it is a maximize or minimize. This is the question. Example 1 is in front of you. Quick. I'm not getting any answer. Yes, maximize. Good. Okay. On the chat, I am receiving some answers here. I think. Okay, maximize. Very good. So generally, the last line of the problem is always important in formulation. So that gives you this formulate the LPP to maximize a profit. So the first thing, yes, it is of maximize. Now profit we have to maximize. Now this profit obviously depends on the selling of these pieces of A and B. Okay, selling of the pieces of A and B. So that becomes our decision variable. So we should say let X and Y, let X and Y be the pieces of A and B that dealer is going to sell. Okay, just we should say let X and Y be the pieces of A and B. Okay, so that is one thing. Therefore, objective function become maximize Z. Now we observe if X by selling one piece of A, he is getting 2 rupees. So if he sells X pieces, so how much rupees he will get? 2x rupees, is that? So we get 2x plus 3y. So this is the uh, money that he is going to earn by selling X and Y pieces there. So we have to maximize that. So actually we have to find out X and Y so that Z is a maximum there. Now suppose there is no condition. Suppose there is no condition on this X and Y. So obviously what should be the answer? What should be the values of X and Y without constraint? What should be the values of X and Y to get a maximum value of a Z? Yes. The values of X and Y will be as large as possible, because there is no condition on X and Y. We say if we have to want maximum value of Z, say X is a very large number and Y should be again a very large number, say up to infinity, then z is infinity, so the profit will be infinity. But in real life situation, definitely this will not possible, because there will be obviously always some conditions. First of all, uh, that x and y infinite number of items not available, that may be the thing there. And it may not possible to sell also. So these are the conditions are there in real life. So right now the constraint, what is the condition here, constraint that you can observe in the question? What is the condition on x and y? What is the condition on that decision variable here that you will observe in the question? So I'll write it subject to. The condition that we observe on x and y is that actually he is buying these articles in 1 and 2 rupees respectively, and he have only 100 rupees to invest. So this is a condition. He cannot purchase for more than 100 rupees. So the constraint will become that first article have the 1 rupee as a cost. So x plus 2y less than or equal to 100. So he can take maximum of 100 rupees. Okay, maximum of 100 rupees. That's one. There is no other condition. If you observe, there is no other condition on x and y. So lastly, non-negative restriction, x and y greater than or equal to 0. So this is one of the simple problem that we have, one of the simplest problem that we have. And you'll observe we already formulated this LPP. We have objective function, we have condition, constraint, and lastly non-negative restriction. So these three things should be there in a solution, and that gives us the LPP there. Any doubt here? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Very good. So let I move to the solution here. I will show you here. This is the solution that already we discussed. In the exam, there is no need to write like this detail. This is just for your understanding. This is given in detail. And another important thing, the same PDF. This same PDF is available on TMI LMS. You can download it from there. Okay. So the solution, the final answer, you should write this part only, these three things, whatever I written previously. So this is your answer. Final answer should be this much only. This required LPP is this part. This only you can write in the exam if the question comes for formulation. Maximize z, which is 2x1 plus 3x2 or 2x plus 3y, subject to x plus 2y less than or equal to 100 and x and y greater than or equal to 0. So these three things should be there. Now along with this, we have a method. We have a method to solve this LPP by graphical method. Let me see what should be the things that seller should do, whether he should purchase as he have we already observed he can purchase the pieces of A for 1 rupees and pieces of B for 2 rupees. So he can purchase all 100 items of pieces A only and he can sell, or he can purchase all 50 items. Okay, maximum purchase 50 items of article B and he can sell that only, or he can take partial of A and partial of B. That are different possibilities there. So second part that comes as a solution of LPP, solving LPP, and this is a very important part for you because in the exam you will get these two questions. One question is on graphical solution and one question on simplex method. So just we are going to check a graphical method here. Now how graphical method works? Suppose we have to solve this same LPP. This is the LPP that we have, and we have to solve it by a graphical method. The first thing that we have to do it to solve the graphical method, yes, even though graph paper is not provided to you in the exam, if it is not provided, you can take a rough sketch. Rough sketch always gives you the feasible region and the corner points of that feasible region. This last condition, x1 and x2 greater than or equal to 0, that always indicates, our graph is in the first quadrant, because both x and y, both xy are positive. That indicates the graph is in the first quadrant. Okay, next part, we have to draw this inequality. To draw the inequality, first convert that inequality to the equality. So equality will become x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 100. So just replace inequality sign by equality. So we get one equation, and we know the linear equation represents the straight line. So this is the equation of a straight line, and we can draw this straight line very easily. To draw this straight line, yes, obviously we require minimum 2 points of the straight line. We already know that you already learned that in school, that to draw a straight line we should know the passing point and the direction, or we should know the minimum 2 points. So just we find 2 points of this straight line. The simple points are on x and y axis. So suppose I want a point on x1 axis. If I want point on x1 axis, I'll put x2 equal to 0. So if x2 is a 0, x1 is 100. So suppose this is my 100 value. So I will say this is the point 100 comma 0, because I replace x2 by 0 and x1 becomes 100. Let I want another point, so I'll put x2 equal to 0 now. If sorry, x1 is a 0 now, so x2 becomes a 50. So suppose this is my point as a 0 comma 50, where x1 is a 0 and x2 is a 50. And now we have a line. We have that line x1 plus 2x2, and we got this line. So this is the line here, x1 plus 2x2 equal to 100. That straight line we drawn. Now this straight line always divides this plane into the two regions. Okay, one region is considered as away from origin and other region considered as towards origin. So you'll observe the lower region, this lower region involves the origin, upper region does not have that origin. Okay, and that is considered as a origin test to check which is the correct region. There is one simple condition also, 99%, when the constraint is less than or equal to type, the region is always towards origin, and when constraint is greater than or equal to type, then region is always away from origin. So that is a 99%, but in few cases you should be alert there. Right now you'll observe why it is a origin side, because if you replace both x1 and x2 as a 0, replace x1 and x2 as a 0. So 0 is a less than 100, that is a true, means origin satisfies this condition. As origin satisfy that condition, so region is with origin side. Okay, the region is with the origin side. So we have to highlight that region then. So let I highlight this region. The region is this side only, below there. And why I'm not going below x-axis or below this side? Because last x1 x2 are greater than 0. So x1 and x2 are greater than 0. So because of that, the region is just bounded by first x1 and x2 axis always, and here is one more constraint. Now this is one of the simple problem, as we have only one constraint. This is whatever the triangle I shaded here, this triangle is known as a feasible region. The name of this region is a feasible region. What is a feasible region? It is a set of all possible solutions of that LPP. Set of all possible solutions of LPP is known as a feasible region. What is a set of all possible solution means? For example, this 100 comma 0 is also a feasible point. This is a feasible point, 100 0. That means if we replace x by 100 and y by 0, we get all conditions satisfied. For example, x is 100, y is 0. So x1 and x2 are greater than 0. That's satisfied. Then if we replace x1 equal to 100 and x2 as a 0, we get is equal to 100. So this constraint is also satisfied. So take any point from this triangle, it satisfies that constraints. So it is a feasible region. Now there is one theorem. That theorem says maximum value or optimum value, I will say in general, means maximum or minimum. Meaning of optimum is maximum or minimum. So this maximum or minimum value always occur at a corner point of the feasible region. I will repeat that statement of the theorem is maximum or minimum value always present at corner point of the feasible region. Now, how many corner points are there for this feasible region, first of all? Yes? Three, correct. So there are three
Yes,
corner
sir.
points. You will observe the first corner point is 0, 0. That's the origin. Okay. Next corner point, say this one is 100, 0. And third corner point is 0, 50. So obviously, now Z will be maximum either at O, A or B. Obviously, O will not give us a maximum. It will, the value of, you will find out the value of Z. Let me find the value of this z, at each point of origin, sorry, at each point of a corner point there. So we can say at origin, obviously z is 0. Then at say point A, 100 comma 0. Yes, what is the value of z? Is it 200? And next at a point B, 0 comma 50, what should be the value of z?
150.
Is it 150?
150, sir.
Yes, 150. So to get a maximum profit, what the seller should do? Yes, the seller should purchase only the articles of A, okay, and he should sell that. So the maximum profit. So this is the case that we observed. So we got here, but he should able to sell that all the items in that day, then only he get a maximum profit. So there are certain conditions obviously on that. So but here we say the maximum value of z is a 200 at 100 comma 0. So x1 should be 100 and x2 should be 0, and then only the seller will get a maximum profit, that is of 200 rupees there. Is it clear? Any doubt there? If there any doubt, yes, you can ask.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, good. So here is example 2. So few of the case, the question may be a little lengthy there. You will observe this is one of the, that's mainly the problem of formulation. Formulation sometimes becomes very lengthy because uh, as that is word problem. But whenever the table form is given, it is always easy for us. Again, if you focus on the last line, formulate the LPP to maximize the profit here. So this indicates, again we have to maximize the profit there. So the profit will now we have to check the profit depends on what here. A firm manufactures two products 1 and 2. The raw material requirements, space needed, storage, production rate, everything is given in the table below. So this is the raw material required to produce the product 1 and 2. Production rate of the product 1 and 2, storage space required for product 1 and 2, selling price of this product 1 and 2. Okay, so which will decides what is the cost values then? The cost values for decision variable, they are obviously the selling price. Selling price are the cost values. So these are the values like a CJ there. So what is the objective function here? Objective function will be maximize Z with these things, that is say 15x plus 10y. If I say x and y, so let x and y be the units of product 1 and 2 there. Okay, so we got objective function subject to the condition. Now condition is obviously subject to the condition. The condition will be for raw material. The raw material condition is like 4x plus 5y. Now how much raw material is available? So you will see the raw material available is 1575 lb. Okay, so lb is some unit there, so you check that. So less than or equal to 1575, that is the first condition. Next condition, the condition is on this one, production rate. Production rate condition is, now we have 60 units per hour is produced, and here 30 units per hour is produced. And now what is the condition on production rate? Let me see. The total storage space, this is the for storage space is there, maximum 7 hours are available per day for production. So can anyone tell me, this is only the difficult constraint. Can anyone tell me what should be a constraint for production rate?
X by 60 plus Y by 30 is less than equal to 7.
Very nice. Good, good. Okay, so that's correct. So you'll observe, we observe that 60 units per hour are produced. Here 30 units per hour produced, and we are going to produce X and Y units of product 1 and 2. So just we'll see how many, first of all, when we say that X by 60, X by 60, uh, because we are going to produce that 60 units there per hour. So X upon 60 plus Y upon 30 is going to become, X upon 60 is the number of hours required to produce X unit there. And this is Y by 30, and that is less than or equal to total number of hours are 7 there. So that about the second constant, that's correct, good. Then next is for storage space. The storage space is obviously this one, the storage space. So we have 5 square feet per unit. So 5x plus 3y less than equal to 1500 square feet. 1500. That's one. We got all these constant there, and x and y should be greater than equal to 0, non-negative. So we have this objective function subject to constant number 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 constants, and x and y are again non-negative. So that about the formulation of LPP here. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay. So the problems along with solutions given there. So this x upon 60 plus y upon 30 less than equal to 7. If you don't want these denominators, you can cross multiply and write the constant like this. Sorry, not written here. So you can cross multiply and write there if you want, or you can keep as it is also. I kept as it is here. So this is the objective function subject to this 3 constant and non-negative restriction. So that about your LPP here.